Is a meat-only diet forever, or does there come a time to make a change and add some plants back in? When I first started eating a carnivore diet, the changes that I felt in my body made me realise that meat was the ultimate healing food. And honestly, it has changed my health in ways that nothing else ever did. But here's the thing. I've realised over time, through my own personal experience and watching and listening to others who have been eating this way, that carnivore really isn't a one-size-fits-all solution. There are so many questions, and I'm realising that sometimes we might need some plants because they can have benefits. I actually find myself now wondering if a long-term meat-only diet is the best option. So today, I'm going to share my experience, the benefits that I got from eating a carnivore diet, and why I have sometimes eaten or used plants along the way, as well as the reasons I have questions surrounding long-term strict carnivore. So if you're sitting there wondering if a strict meat-only diet is the best option, then this video is for you. Einstein said the important thing is to not stop questioning. So let's ask the hard questions together. Here's the thing. Most people thrive when they first go carnivore. Weight drops, energy soars, inflammation disappears, and it can seem and feel like a miracle, especially when we come to this way of eating, sick, inflamed, and frustrated with what's going on in our bodies. We get to experience the feeling of our body repairing itself and beginning to thrive. So when we first start, we discover it can be a bit rough initially with keto flu, diarrhea, and sometimes lack of energy while our body adapts. But once we're fat adapted, most people feel amazing. We feel more mentally sharp, physically lighter, stronger, and it's common to feel younger as well. And that was me. Although I actually gained weight to start with, I felt other benefits quickly. Many of my worrying symptoms started to disappear, and I thought, this is it. I found the answer. But then things got complicated. For me, some of my health issues continued and some got worse, and I have to say that I've found at times that adding some plants back in have helped, but I'll talk more about that later. Over the last 3 years, I've seen others struggling too, and it's not just me. Some people struggle with ongoing weight issues or gut issues like I have, while others, after a period of time, begin to struggle with blood sugar issues, weight gain, sudden gut problems, and even hormone issues, namely thyroid and sex hormones. So the hormone issue, that seems to happen for some people when they've been eating a meat-only diet without carbs for a while, usually 1 or more years. Dr. Sivas discussed this problem recently on a video interview with Dr. Berry, and I'll link to that video below. He says that these are the people who eat extremely low or no carbs, strict carnivore, and it seems that their bodies begin to suffer without the occasional carb challenge to stimulate the release of insulin. I'm going to interrupt this video just for a minute to quickly talk about doTERRA essential oils. I've used doTERRA's oils for close to 10 years, and throughout my carnivore journey, I've used them daily. I don't ever want to live without them, but I never really mentioned them throughout the first 3 years of my carnivore videos because I didn't think that they fit with the whole carnivore diet and the plants are trying to kill you thing. But what I've now realised is that they absolutely fit perfectly with carnivore and meat-based eating because they can be used in so many ways to support our physical, emotional and mental health without consuming fibre or plant toxins. And while some essential oils can be used internally, their benefits really shine with inhalation and topical use. In my case, my carnivore journey was rough. You can see that in my early videos. And these amazing essential oils supported me and continue to support me in some way every single day. When my bowel was playing up, when my anxiety was through the roof, and when my skin was inflamed and irritated, I turned to my doTERRA oils. doTERRA essential oils can help with sleep and children's problems and sore tired muscles after working out. They can calm and relax and even improve your performance in the gym and sports. They smell amazing and they have so much to offer. I now have a link below my videos to doTERRA where you can shop retail or open an account, which will save you a minimum of 25%. The link will take you to the US site, but in case you're in another country, I've also included instructions on how to switch to your country and your local currency. If you have any problems following the instructions or if you have questions about doTERRA products, just comment below or contact me and I'm always happy to help. Now, let's get back to the video. Dr. Sivas refers to this as insulin suppression, and it can and does cause thyroid and hormone dysregulation, and he says that he has also seen the progression of arterial plaque in these people as well. Recently, we've seen one of the OGs in the carnivore space, Dr. Lisa Wiedemann, admitting to struggling with rising blood sugar and weight gain after going through menopause. She's found she's had to change her diet to a low-fat version of carnivore with some carbs added to get that weight off and keep it off. She's been carnivore for 16 years. 10 years prior to menopause, she had no problems at all. And then post-menopause, she's gradually had weight gain and blood glucose issues over the last 5 years. She said she's tried all the tricks. She knows what she's doing, sardine fast, dry fasting and everything else. And while her weight would go down temporarily, it would just go back up again once she had finished doing whatever she was doing. These approaches were obviously temporary band-aids and not permanent lifestyle choices. But meanwhile, some others seem to be fine eating carnivore long-term, or are they? Here's the tricky part. When we talk about long-term carnivores, what do we actually mean? Most people doing carnivore today have only been eating this way for a handful of years. There aren't many who have done it for decades, and those who say that they have, well, I have questions, and I wonder if there's actually anyone who's done it for that long who can honestly say that they never eat any plants in that time. For example, there's a man that I know locally. He's in his late 70s or 80s, super fit, still climbs the mountain where I live regularly. Those who know him say he's a carnivore and has been for years. I know his daughter. She told me he was a carnivore. But I've seen him at functions eating vegetables, salads, bread rolls. And when I asked him about that, he admitted that every now and then when he goes out, he'll just eat what he's served to be sociable. And he was even drinking alcohol-free beer. So is he meat-based? Absolutely. Is he strict carnivore? Sometimes, probably. But is he strict carnivore 24/7, 365 days a year? Not at all. But he's thriving. And so maybe those indiscretions, those little carb binges are not weakness, maybe it's wisdom. So why do some people thrive long-term while others have ongoing or even new health issues? Is it genetics, ancestry? Is it lifestyle? Or is it their version of the carnivore diet? I actually question whether humans have ever lived on a 100% strict diet of fatty meat, as modern carnivores are attempting to do. Even if we look at the Inuit, who are often used as the all-meat example, ate plants. Do a little digging and you'll find that they ate seaweed and plenty of berries, and they even used medicinal teas. They had more variety of plant foods than most of us who have no idea about life in the Arctic would possibly imagine. Then there's the problems with our modern food supply. So we have grain-fed meat, and even the grass-fed cows and sheep that we farm aren't the same as wild game. The meat from our modern farmed animals and birds have way more fat on them because of breeding and what they're fed. Our modern beef can be 25 to 30% fat compared to the 3 to 5% fat of the wild game that was hunted and consumed in the past. And most of us don't eat nose to tail like our ancestors did. We tend to pick the cuts we like and skip the rest because we can. Some carnivores eat lots of seafood or organ meats, which provide different nutrients, and some eat none. And that potentially makes a huge difference in our results over time. Nutritional deficiencies or imbalances obviously can happen on a modern carnivore diet. I think the honest truth is that the carnivore diet is powerful, but it's incomplete. In my case, as I said, I have found personally that plants have helped me when my carnivore diet fell short because of the health issues that I started this journey with and the symptoms that I was experiencing. The chronic diarrhea that I had prior to carnivore, and that got worse when I started eating this way, continued for over 2.5 years, having only really resolved fairly recently, and I found that I needed some plants to help manage it. Without the fermented veggies and the herbs and the essential oils that I've used to support my body and my mind, I couldn't have continued to run my business and participate in day-to-day life. It would have just been too hard. The other thing that people miss within all of this is that health isn't just about food. There's so much more that many people today are missing out on. Community, sunshine, nature, spiritual connection, joy, those sorts of things. Over the last 3 years, my frustration has been knowing that even though I was eating this healing carnivore diet, I've still struggled. And so I've had to look beyond just the food and begin focusing on things like light and circadian rhythms and grounding and getting out in nature, my stress levels, movement, and yes, plants to keep my body and my health moving forward. So here's where I have landed after 3 years. The carnivore diet is one of the most powerful healing tools that we have today, but it's also an experiment, a modern recreation of something our ancestors did obviously quite differently. To truly thrive, I think we need to go beyond carnivore, not just eat a proper human diet, but live a proper human lifestyle. That means eating meat as our foundation, but also knowing how to prepare and use plants, herbs, and immerse ourselves in nature as tools for health. We are hunters, but we were also gatherers too. I think now that maybe the real wisdom is finding balance in both. So what do you think? Are you strict carnivore, or do you ever add plants? I'm curious to know how many of us are really eating only meat all the time. And could humans have ever survived on only meat without a single plant food, or is the truth closer to a hunter-gatherer mix? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your take. And if you want to know more about carnivore itself, what it is, what to eat, and what benefits people get in the beginning, check out this video next.